So the first thing we're going to look at is enterprise. And what is enterprise? Well, enterprise it can be defined as the efforts people make to achieve something new. So there we go. Enterprise, efforts people make to achieve something new. The next thing you need to know is an entrepreneur. And an entrepreneur is somebody who maybe spots an opportunity, takes a risk, and then shows initiative by actually going out and setting up that business or maybe that service. Okay, so there we go. So an entrepreneur is someone who spots an opportunity, takes a risk, and then shows initiative by actually setting up the business. Okay, so the next thing you need to know if you're leaving cert business exam is characteristics of entrepreneurs. Okay, so I'm going to write down 5 characteristics that you can have. So the first one we can say is confident. So one characteristic is is confident. Second one could be good communicators. So good communicators. The third characteristic of entrepreneurs would be leaders. They're real leaders. The fourth characteristic would be risk takers. And the fifth characteristic of entrepreneurs are that they are motivated. Okay, so for your business leaving cert exam, you need to know a few characteristics of entrepreneurs, but you also need to know a few skills of entrepreneurs. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 skills that entrepreneurs usually have. And the first one is decision making. They're usually very good at making decisions. So decision making. The second one is timing. Usually very good with timing. The third one we'll say is planning. Entrepreneurs are usually very, very good at planning things. The fourth one is skill that we can have for entrepreneurs is human relations, that they're really good with dealing with people and keeping everybody happy. And the fifth skill that entrepreneurs usually show is innovation. Okay, and there are many, many other skills and characteristics, but these are just 5 that I've given you here that you could learn. The next thing we're going to look at is enterprise in action. So enterprise in action. And you can find enterprise in action in many different ways. Okay, so we're going to look at a few different ways that you can find enterprise in action. So the first one would be enterprise, so at home. You can find enterprise at schools, so at school. The third way you can find enterprise in action would be by the local community. The fourth way would be enterprise in personal life. And the fifth way you can find enterprise in action would be enterprise in business. So in business. Okay, I'm going to talk about examples for enterprise in action for each of the following. So at home, enterprise could be by a family who grow their own vegetables. Okay, and by doing this, they're providing their own food and they ensure that they're getting like a healthy diet. So this would be shown enterprise at home. In school, it might be a group of transition year students who maybe set up a mini company. So such as the Student Enterprise Awards that happens in most schools. Many students actually show enterprise in action at school by setting up these mini companies. Another example of enterprise in action can be by the local community, and this might be when the local community get together to maybe fundraise, to maybe raise money for a community centre, maybe for like a football pitch, or maybe like an all-weather like football pitch, or like a track or a tennis court, or something that can benefit everybody in the community. Enterprise in action can be shown also in personal life. Maybe somebody who's who's working in like business goes on and does like a master's in the evening time, so outside of work, where they're trying to further educate them, and to try like improve their chances of maybe getting like maybe a higher job or a better job in the future. And the last one is enterprise and business, and this can be seen all the time when entrepreneurs go out, spot a gap in the market, uh, t- take a risk and show initiative and actually set up a business. So anybody who sets up a business would be shown enterprise and action in business. The next thing you need to know is entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship is exactly the same as an entrepreneur, except an entrepreneur is somebody who spots an opportunity within the business that they actually work for, okay, and then they show initiative and maybe it goes the business like take a risk and actually set it up, okay, and this is what we call as entrepreneurship. It's somebody who actually comes up with an idea of maybe a new product for the business or maybe a way to improve the product within the business, and therefore like saves money for the business or maybe makes additional funds for the business. An example of this might be in marketing, where the company might like post out a lot of their marketing, and that might cost might be quite like a costly process. But now they might an employee might come up with an idea of like doing the same marketing but maybe like on social media, or maybe instead of like posting out the promotions, they might put the promotions in emails where it's much cheaper, and therefore will save a lot of money for the business. Another way entrepreneurship might happen within a business is if the employee spots like maybe waste and come up with a way to maybe like reduce the amount of waste that they have in the business, and therefore that will obviously save and reduce costs, and that is entrepreneurship as well. So the entrepreneurship can be quite small, but it can also be quite big as well. Maybe they come up with a brand new product within the business, or a brand new like good or service that the business can actually do, which will make large profits for the business. Okay, so there we have entrepreneurship. I said spots an opportunity to cut costs within the business that they actually work for, and obviously this is something that firms try to encourage, because entrepreneurship can obviously be a huge benefit to the business, because they can either reduce costs and save them lots of money, or they can actually maybe come up with a brand new product or way of doing things that can actually create lots of profits for the business. One way that maybe like a business or a firm might try to encourage this is they might give like a bonus to people to come up with new ideas. They might might have a suggestion box and ways to improve. They might listen to a lot of the employees and call them in and ask them for their opinion on ways of to be more efficient, or maybe some new ideas that ask the employees for ideas that they might have.